Okay, we move on now to server management. This is the server management architecture. So you can see over here we have some servers. They have some MIBs on them. That's what these little disks are indicating there at the top. We haven't talked about Consolidated Services Desk yet. That's coming up here in just a little bit. But that's basically help desk and everything that we've talked about as far as management systems consolidated into one area now. And so it's referred to as Consolidated Services Desk. So it handles not just the users, but it also deals with other issues like the servers and the applications and the databases and things like that. This would be the management console here with its own database, not necessarily directly attached to it, although the graphic shows it that way. And then we've got an enterprise-wide network, so we've got some components over here. We've got other servers attached on the other side of our WAN cloud here, whether it be internet or dedicated. It doesn't really matter. Again, we've got MIBs, and then also we have the public switch telephone network attached to our management console. And what they're trying to show here and indicate is that if we've got a problem with one of these servers through the server management system, we can notify our administrators by dialing up their pagers or their cell phones. So you can actually get a message out there to the folks that, hey, server XYZ is down, or server XYZ is low on hard disk space, or it's at 90% utilization, you better come and deal with it. And so that kind of helps as well as far as quickly notifying, making our techs very responsive to issues as they occur within the enterprise. So some issues, some functionality, some items to talk about with regards to server management software. It seeks to ease system administrators' chores by effectively monitoring, reporting, troubleshooting, and even diagnosing server performance. Server management software must provide server capacity planning, which means that we need some way of identifying how many users can use a particular server before it's going to be overwhelmed based on its current configuration. And it can even, in some cases, recommend the server components that require upgrades. So if we add more and more users, and as the server reports that tell us, we need, based on the type of application we're using and whatnot, we need to upgrade the CPU, we need to add RAM, we need to add additional hard drives, whatever would be necessary there. Some server management software is particular to a certain brand of servers. So again, if we have IBM servers, they had their products. If we had Dell servers, they have their products. And HP, they have their own products, again, specifically for their servers, and they don't generally interoperate with each other very well. There is other server management software out there that it's able to manage multiple different brands of servers. Microsoft, for instance, has their SMS, their server management system software, and that's designed to handle both desktops and servers of multiple brands, although it is very specific to those that use the Microsoft operating system. So this is now taking a look, this graphic is taking a look at the IT, our distributed IT infrastructure, both the administration and the management of that infrastructure. And notice the two categories that it breaks it down into. This is what I showed you early on in one of the first slides there. You have systems administration and you have enterprise network management. So systems administration deals with the systems themselves, generally the hardware as far as clients and servers and the applications that they are running, whereas the enterprise network management is basically dealing with the routers, the switches, the bandwidth allocation, and all that kind of good stuff. Even though this shows you hubs here, I just don't think that anybody in the world, if they're in business since 2000 or even 1990, is using a hub anymore. Okay, here is the Consolidated Services Desk. So they show you that slide, and then we actually get to the enterprise management stuff, the network management here in just a bit. But they talk first about Consolidated Services Desk, or CSD. This is, again, the idea is to take the whole network management system processes that are out there. So everything that we've looked at individually, and even the network management stuff that's coming up here, they need to try in, or they're trying to integrate it, into all one basic service software. So such an approach offers a number of benefits. As a single point of contact for all network and application problem resolution. So instead of having, figuring out which guy do I call to get something resolved, you just basically call one number, and then using call distribution and whatnot, it gets to the right person. The consolidation of all problem data at a single location allows correlation between problem reports to be made. So if we get a lot of reports, and I call one person, somebody else calls another person, well, those problems now are in separate locations. So again, the idea is that, say a server went down, and different people, as they recognize that, are starting to make calls into the tech support system. We want to make sure that all those reports are at one spot so that we can see what the issues are, and that it pertains to one specific issue. Resolutions to known user inquiries can be incorporated into intelligent help desk support systems. So that's the knowledge base that I was talking about earlier. Software upgrades could be centrally handled by electronic software distribution technology. So instead of each department or each geographic location being responsible for that, again, we can centralize it. In most cases, when we can centralize things, we're going to gain in efficiency, we're going to reduce costs. Network security policies, procedures, and technology can also be consolidated at the CSD or Consolidated Service Desk. So the idea, again, is just to try and not have fragmented components out there each one handling different areas or different issues. Bring it into one place, and then, if need be, distribute it out to the appropriate personnel. So this is the CSD architecture. This is, again, bringing kind of everything all under one roof. Down here at the bottom is the knowledge base. We have things like problem resolutions. We have our inventory information and all our trouble tickets and what their current status is. So that's all being stored in the database. That's all considered to be the knowledge base receptacle. Then you have your Consolidated Services Desk technology. So we're bringing all those components that we've talked about together here. So LAN management, which actually we're going to look at in just a second here, trouble ticketing and tracking tools, help desk management, enterprise network management, server management, desktop management, and our application and access control tools. And then at this level here, we have various processes and procedures going on. So this is the actual systems themselves, the systems management, security management, asset management, change management, problem management. And then this level here represents what the business benefits are, which would be cost control. You're going to have much tighter cost control by, again, getting all this stuff centralized. And the ability to respond quickly to any business opportunities, and also that would be including having to deal with the various issues or problem that's going on within our system. All right, now we get to enterprise network management. Again, dealing specifically with the network components. And so we're going to be analyzing bridges, which a bridge and a switch are basically the same thing. Just a bridge uses software to do the forwarding process between ports, whereas a switch is actually built into the electronics, the ability to forward the messages to the right ports. So bridges or switches, routers, a communication server, so this would be like a remote access server if we have modems and whatnot hooked up to it and people from the outside dialing in. So those are the basic components that we're taking a look at, and then the speed of the wire would be also an issue here. Mostly that could be managed though, or identified at the router and or the bridges. So again, we have these things called agents that are used to take the statistics, which are stored in MIBs. That's the management information base format. Take that information and bring it over here to our enterprise network management console. And again, using SNMP as the actual protocol at the API layer there that is encapsulating the agent data and then carrying it across the network between the device and the management system.